All right, so I think this is too good not to record. And I'll be honest, like being here and realizing how much has changed in the past couple of years has made me quite emotional because I honestly, I did used to be just like you watching this video. You're probably working a 9 to 5 or a job that you hate, thinking, how the hell can I get out, right? How the hell can it get to the point where I am right now? I booked a one-way ticket to Spain. I got nowhere to be. Look at this view. Unbelievable. Camera's not unbelievable though. And I'm just living the exact life that I want. I remember I used to work on this retail job on the till, packing people's bags for them, thinking, just leaning against the till. I remember, like I just say, leaning against the till, looking at these people like coming into the shop, thinking, how the hell do I get out of here? I honestly imagine standing in places like this, so clear to the detail, that now it's happened, kind of like a law of attraction, right? And I'm just going to run you through, like, I honestly think the reason why that I was able to do that, I think honestly the price you have to pay is doing 2 years specifically in a retail job. Now, the reason why I'm so specific in saying a retail job is because of a couple of main reasons, right? Number one is you honestly realize how low the bar is. You realize the average person coming in, with respect, the average person isn't very bright, okay? Like, you should never compare yourself against the average person, because if you actually realize who the average person was, you'd laugh, okay? The average person, respectfully, isn't as great as you think, right? The bar is much lower and you'll see this when you work in a retail job. When you go and work in like Tesco or a corner shop like I did, people will come in and you'll get abuse for example, like Tesco will increase their prices with milk, right, by 20p, and you'll get shouted at by a customer because they're angry that the price has gone up by 20p, right? Whereas they're still buying 3 packs of cigarettes per day, but they're angry about the price increase of milk, right? So that's how low the bar is. That's your competition, right? The average person, which is so common, obviously, right, is complaining about the price of a milk increase, but not realizing that if they want to save money, right, maybe they should, number one, stop smoking and drinking, and number two, actually put in the effort to make more money and stop thinking like a victim, right? So the bar, honestly, is so low, and it's just really funny to see. So when you realize how low the bar is, you'll think about your goals and where you want to be, right? You'll analyze them and go, right, let me think about my competition, because here's the thing, like, everyone says it's so hard to do to become a millionaire because everyone's trying to do it, but you realize, no, not everyone's trying to do it. Most of the other people that you're quote unquote competing against have already given up. Okay, the people that come into these shops and complain about the price of milk increasing by 20p, buying 3 packs of cigarettes, 2 bottles of vodka, and then shouting at you for the price increase, and it has nothing to do with you, right? Do you really think they're actually doing what it takes to become a millionaire? They can't even stop putting cigarettes in their mouth, right? And they're complaining about the cost of inflation, rather than actually fixing their life and accepting, like, that's honestly just part of life, right? We can't really do anything to change that as an individual. I can't go to the co-op and say, look, bring the prices back down again. All I can do is make more money and take more accountability for my life. It's a simple fix, but these people will blame everything but themselves. Everything else is a scam. Everything else is everybody else's fault. No one will take any self-accountability. Okay, so the main thing is going into one of these jobs for 2 years, dealing with all of this crap and seeing how low the bar is, because that honestly is your competition. And you realise, if that's what they're doing when they come into shops, what are they doing in their free time? Because you're seeing them in a split second in their day, and they're acting like that. In a split second, they're going to go carry on with their life and do much worse things, okay? Living a terrible lifestyle. That is your competition, right? So the main thing, again, is seeing how low the bar actually is. Because I promise you, like, nobody else has the balls to even try and get what they want, because they just give up before they've even started. And you'll see that the most working in retail. I'm telling you now, as someone has done myself, the most you'll see of this is working, for example, in Tesco and seeing how low the bar actually is, right? And number two is, when you work one of these jobs, you'll become friends with a wide range of people when you work there, right? You'll become friends with customers who have just pissed their life up the wall, right? And you'll think, I can't end up like that. But most importantly, you'll become friends with people that actually work there, who are, for example, you might make friends with Steve, who's 45 years old. He's seriously overweight. He hates his life, and he's up to his eyeballs in debt. And he's worked at this retail job, worked at Tesco for 30 years, right? 20, 30 years, and he's stuck. And it's honestly just so unbelievably sad to see, you know? Like, they've just stayed stuck in the same position for 30 years, nothing's changed. And you realize the main thing that held them back was being scared to change, right? So realizing how low the bar is, seeing the average person, seeing how they live their life, and then also making friends with people at this job and realizing that if you don't change something now, if you don't start making the correct choices to change your life, then that is how you end up. And the thing is, right, the main reason why they're stuck is they let that fear creep in, and they also don't change their character. They think that to make money and to be successful, I need to find a model about how to make a lot of money. But the truth is, for example, if you found dropshipping before everybody else, good for you, right? You may make some money in the short term, but if you're not the kind of person that can sustain that long term, and you're still living like a bum, complaining and having this terrible mindset, you'll make money in the short term, but you won't have it long term, right? So everything about making money and having it sustainably over a long period of time, which is the main thing. You need to have it over a long period of time. It's great to make money fast, but you need to have it long term, right? The main way you do that isn't necessarily just about the model you pick. It's about the kind of person you are, okay? Because if you just find one good model, and you make a couple of $100,000 with it, and let's say down the line it doesn't work anymore, but you haven't become the kind of person that can make money in no matter what industry, right? If you haven't become that person, develop those character traits, then you're screwed. You're at the mercy of these business models. It all comes from within, right? The only reason why Elon Musk is like one of the richest men in the world is because he's built a character that can do that. It's not about the model he's picked. It's not about anything else. Honestly, it's just about the character he's picked and these traits that he has. So, Steve, that is 40 years old and fat, and he's worked the same job for 30 years in the co-op or Tesco. The main reason he's there is because he keeps the same character traits. Doesn't look at himself in the mirror. Doesn't take any self accountability. Nothing, right? And you'll see that when you're working there. You'll see that when you're working there. You'll see that you'll see that the only reason he is where he is isn't because of the mercy of life. It's his own fault. And you'll realize. You think, oh, if he just changed his character traits and actually tried to change his habits when he was 20 years old, which is my age right now, if he just done that, he wouldn't be here. You know, he wouldn't be here telling me how much he hates his life, and he wouldn't be here working a job that he hates, right? And you'll think, right, but I'm that age right now, so all I need to do is not do what he's done, right? So don't go and piss your life off the wall. Don't smoke, drink, party, do drugs for the rest of your life, right? And actually take the steps to become the kind of person that can live the kind of life that you want. Because again, I'll say it one more time. It's not the model that you pick. It's not anything like that. It's not the money you make. It's the kind of person you are, right? Because the kind of person that can make £1 million a year for the rest of their life doesn't matter about the model they pick, right? They can do it anywhere, right? They can do it with drop shipping, Amazon FBA. It doesn't matter, right? It's not about the model. It's about who you are as a character. And who you are as a character will get you to exactly where you want to be, not the money you can make or the model that you pick, okay? So that is the price to get to where you want to be. Go and work in retail for 2 years because it will teach you all of those lessons. So when you're there and you're leaning against the till, thinking, how the hell can I be in a place like this and book a one-way ticket to Spain and stay in Europe for a month like I'm doing? You have to realize the only reason I can do that is because I changed my character, right? And I managed to change my character by what I learned working in retail for 2 years, which is what I've just taught you there. So stay strong. Things can change. I'm 21 years old. I'm not smart. I didn't have any leverage or anything at all. I just realized how low the bar is, right? How stupid the average person is. And I also got scared into changing my life by seeing Fat Steve, who's been working there for 30 years and absolutely hates his life, right? All right, so if that all makes sense and you want to learn exactly how I got into this and how I changed my life and the model that I picked, I did appointment setting, right? So if you guys want to learn how to get into that and have me hold your hand, right, to get here the exact same way without making any of the mistakes quicker than I did, there's going to be a link down below in the description running through how I can help. Now, full transparency, if you click that link, it is designed to try and sell you something. So if you're not serious about making this work, then don't click it. If you don't want to be sold to, don't click it. If you are serious about making this work, there's going to be a link down below. Click it and I'll run you through how I can help.